Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for a 2022 film I never even heard of called Lexi, and I kind of know why I haven't heard of this. It's a mockumentary because there's footage from surveillance cameras and YouTube videos, but at the same time there's interviews with authors and a few other people. And it's about this motivational influencer, pretty much this lady on YouTube called Laughing Lexi, who her channel is about positivity and she's very upbeat, and then she's gone missing. I think this is at this point about 12 days, and then it's about what led up to that. And I thought the film was just pretty uneventful, pretty boring, not scary, not creepy. I mean, if you've seen enough of these type of movies, which I have, whether it be found footage, whether it be mockumentaries, I mean, I've seen, with those two combined, over 100 of them. It doesn't really do anything that new or interesting or creative or creepy. Pretty much, they're showing her YouTube videos. They talk with these two authors. There's also this other lady who's a influencer on YouTube who's just very cliche bitchy. Oh, she's just doing all this for attention. A lot of times it will cut to her viewers like doing their little vlog saying, I miss you, I love you, I miss you, I miss you, I hope you're doing well, you did so much for me. And once or twice was fine, but when it kept doing that, it kind of just became redundant and go, yeah, we did it. There were a lot of people who liked her. We did it, okay? You don't have to keep redoing that. And it kind of just felt like for a while, like, where is this actually going? Just as the movie goes on, she gets videos posted of her sleeping, and she says she didn't do it. The cops won't do anything. More of these sleeping videos. Of course, like anyone would, she gets more and more creeped out. There's even a point where someone was in her place filming her. And you have the two authors. One, her name is Pumpernickel, which I thought was weird. Like, Pumpernickel sounds like something your grandmother would bring over to eat. I made some pumpernickel. That's her character's name, and she's an author of That Ain't Lexi. It's just a very hammy performance. She kind of reminds me of, remember Trudy from Reno 911? With the very off lady. She reminded me of her. And then the other guy, I thought was worse. Lexi's Last Laugh. Because he's talking about how he thinks she was murdered and someone hacked into her account, but he's very unnatural. It's like he's putting up an act, and maybe that was the point, is that he's putting up an act for the camera, but he's doing very overdramatic in his line readings, and I think what we have here is a murder. Like, it just very hammy. And yeah, if that was the point, then maybe it'd be nice if like there were points where it cut, but the camera kept rolling, and you see like his natural way of talking. And then when it cuts, it's like he puts on an act. Like maybe a few more moments of that. Because even like before the camera starts, supposedly, like for filming, it's like, let me just wait 1 minute. Like just very over the top and for something that's supposed to be very trying to be real and make you believe it's real. Like those two authors really took me out of it. Same with the lady, the influencer. Yes, there are a lot of bitchy people on YouTube or media of all sorts, but this one just very cliche. Like she's trying out for Mean Girls 3 or whatever. Just very cliche in terms of bitchy. And then there's a friend who's incognito and she won't show her face, who talks. And then throughout it, again, it's a lot of our laughing Lexi, who calls her viewers lexicons, being upbeat, and a lot of her videos talking to the camera, and goes to these authors. The one who looks like, who seemed like Trudy from Reno 911, Pumpernickel, she thinks the place is haunted, and ultimately she got possessed. The other guy thinks she was hacked and she was murdered. The bitchy lady thinks she did it herself and she's addicted to attention. I don't think the movie did a good job of ever making us think, though, and believe that she's doing this herself. Maybe because it's a type of film, and very rarely do they go in that direction. Because it's found footage mockumentary, it is usually, again, paranormal or something sinister, evil, psycho, whatever. Very rarely, like I said, do you find a film where they go in that direction, but then it really is the person's mentally ill. I'm sure, I mean, I would say Population Zero is one of those that did that, and that was very interesting in that story. And that's one that I did quite like. Population Zero. Was it called Population Zero? It was the one where it was Yellowstone National Park and there's a murder and the guy's let go because of this thing that happened. I believe it's called that, but I'm so bad with titles. And also with this kind of bit with someone's been missing and there's people talk about the missing person, the person did videos. I saw this done much better a year or so ago called Horror in the High Desert. I thought Horror in the High Desert was much more and well filmed. You have some really good looking outside shots. I thought the actors did a much better job. I thought it felt much more natural. I thought the mystery was much more interesting. Horror in the High Desert I thought was a much better version of this. So again, our lead character, she hears noises. There's surveillance where a door will close or open, or she's taking out the garbage and the shades on the window change a bit. And is it paranormal? Is it a stalker? Again, the movie, if it's trying to make us think this lady just goes crazy, I don't think it did a good enough job to even make you think it goes that route. And again, it keeps going into this consistent amount of people going, I love you, I miss you, I love you. Again, once or twice is fine. Why do we need to keep doing this seemingly every 10 minutes? Again, it just got redundant. I do think the girl who's the lead, Lexi, who I think she was one of the co-writers, I could be wrong, I think she did the best she could. Like, she being this, at the beginning, again, motivational influencer, upbeat, but I didn't find her annoying. Again, those are not the type of videos I watch on YouTube, but I did not find her irritating or too cringe-inducing. And then, like, there's a bit where she's trying to ask whoever's doing this to stop, and she's breaking down a little bit. I thought that was decently effective for someone that, I haven't seen done much acting in other places. Like, if there's a positive I could say about the film, it's the lead. But it's just the story really isn't that interesting when you look at all the various other films out there in this field. And it tries to talk a little bit of her backstory, but there's not a whole lot. They try to throw in this thing that she did these fetish videos, but they're just pretty much her standing and pretend that you're cold. Stand somewhere, here's a big teddy bear, hug it. I'm like, if those are fetish videos, I'm watching the wrong fetish videos, or I'm watching, like, just kidding. But, I mean, when you think fetish videos, because they say the words fetish videos, I'm like, if you think that's fetish. I mean, do not go on Pornhub and type fetish then. If you, I mean, just saying. It'd be much more different than what they're showing here. There's one brief section where they talk about hate video, hate comments. But it's funny, that only happens like once. It's like 5, 7 times it feels like it's the I miss you, I love you, I miss you. Only one time they really go into people going, oh, hopefully the ghost will steer her to quit YouTube and that type of stuff. I think that's something that could have been put into more, that there are people that really gets to them and it destroys their sanity, their will, and that is sadly a topic that is a reality, that there are people who sadly cannot handle it, cannot handle hate comments and hurtful words, and they just lose their sense of worth or sense of self-will. And sadly, there are people who have ended themselves because of something like YouTube. But that feels like something that could have been tackled on more, and it's like they bring it up but then they shied away. And I thought that could be something maybe potentially interesting. Like if this is what it was about and wants to be a story of online and you gotta be careful and that's that you have to have a bit of a thick skin or you gotta grow a thicker skin. That could be interesting if going that story, but no, it doesn't want to provide any answers by the end. The author still thinks she was possessed and that wasn't really Lexi by the end. The other guy thinks she was. They still believe what they thought at the beginning, they believe what the end. One, she's doing it for attention, she'll pop up somewhere. The other, this, the other, this. And there's really no answers. And again, really nothing happens until the finale, and all that happens that our lead makes some weird videos of her drawing stuff on her as if she was the Joker, or she was sent this mannequin head, so she has the mannequin head on the video and she's talking off camera, or she wanders around and surveillance cameras capture her wandering around. And then that's pretty much it. She disappeared. I thought it was really stupid. The one guy, the over-the-top hammy guy, going, "No one just disappears." I'm like, yeah, tell that to Jimmy Hoffa. That's such a weird, stupid thing to say. No one just disappears. I guess this guy never watched Unsolved Mysteries. I guess he doesn't know shit about Jimmy Hoffa. I mean, if I was... what the... that just blew my mind that someone say, well, no one just disappears. Really? Wow. What rock have you been living under? And it's just very uneventful, boring, and there's not even a whole lot to talk about. Production value is low because it's just either, again, a couple interviews or the YouTube videos. Lexi, I mean, do we really learn a lot about her? Again, they try to throw in a little bit of her backstory, but again, it's really just a series of her doing the videos and some strange stuff happens and these videos of her sleeping being uploaded. It feels just very slow, long-winded. Again, there's no clear answers. And when you watch, you don't. If you want an interesting story that delves deep into social statuses, go watch a film like The Dirties, which is a guy who is being picked on in school. He's with his buddy, and certain things in the school happens while he's filming this. Like The Dirties is a very interesting movie. that deals much more with deeper issues. So if you want to see that, go watch The Dirties. If you want to see a movie about a person missing who did videos, and in that movie their family members or friends are worried, that to me is much better paced, more of an interesting mystery. You do get a bit of answers to it, and I think it was much more well handled and well produced. Horror in the High Desert. This, it's so forgettable that by, hell, even by now I'm starting to forget a lot about it. It's funny, it's one of those films that the critics, like the five or so that reviewed it, gave the highest of praise. But if you look at some of the user reviews, you go, this was dog shit. And I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's dog shit. I mean, it's not like it's one of the worst I've seen. It's just very, like I said, boring, uneventful, and to repeat myself, the only positive I'll give is the lead. I definitely thought was the best actor in the movie. Like, the authors were not as hammy and ham-fisted. If more stuff actually happened, if we dive more into maybe interviewing like her fans and if it's trying to delve more into social media and how that plays into a person's psyche, like wants to softly glimpse the surface and then run away from that. And again, by the end, is she murdered, possessed, crazy, whatever. No one knows. And there's really not much else to say than that. I still can't get over that. No one just disappears. Again, go watch a couple episodes of Unsolved Mysteries and then you'll change your tune. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.